everybody. Welcome to another episode of Rob's World of Boxing. Let's get it. Alright. I want to get into the fights that happened over the weekend and talk about some fights that's announced. But yeah, man. I don't know if they're gonna happen or if they ain't gonna happen. But yeah, man, we're gonna talk about it. There ain't that many fights on the horizon for this Saturday coming, so yeah. We ain't really gonna talk about that. I think they got Isaiah Steen fight. He's fighting on Showtime. He an up-and-comer. He fighting, I forget who he fighting, but that's really the only fight that's happening this Saturday. So yeah, we ain't even gonna talk about that. But all right, without further ado, let's jump into the fights that happened last weekend. First, I want to talk about the Claressa Shields, Savannah Marshall card. It was Michaela Mayer and Alicia Bumgarner on the undercard, and a slew of other women fighters. But I'm just gonna talk about the main event and the co-main. This shit is not staying lit. That's crazy. All right. It took place Saturday, October 15th on ESPN Plus. It was in the UK with an ESPN promotion. ESPN is top rank is Bob Arum, all those guys. It was on ESPN. Sorry about that. All right. It was between Claressa Shields and Savannah Marshall. Claressa Shields was 13-0 with 2 KOs. Savannah Marshall was 12-0 with 10 KOs. It was a 10-round contest of middleweight. Middleweight is 160 pounds, if you didn't know. It was really a back-and-forth contest with no one pulling away, in my opinion. If anything, I'll give the edge to Savannah Marshall, man. Not being, I wasn't being biased. So I'll give the edge to Savannah Marshall just from her, like, bullying Claressa and just, her aggression all night. I feel like she was the aggressor, man, and Claressa. She was like on the back foot, she was boxing well on her back foot, but I do feel like she was, she was kind of running. So I get an edge to Savannah Marshall, but the judges didn't agree with me. It was a close fight, but one judge had it 96-94, and the other two judges had it 97-93 for your winner, Claressa Shields. A unanimous decision win for Claressa Shields. This shit is not staying lit. That's crazy. Yeah, Claressa Shields, man, it was like I said, it was a pretty close contest. They calling her the GOAT. I feel like she is the GOAT. She's the greatest woman of all time, but kind of by default, man. I mean, you can put Ann Wolf in there. I say, Layla Ali, but I don't think Layla Ali really fought too many upper echelon women, man, in my opinion. She was running from Ann Wolf her whole career. Yeah, man, I say, maybe by default, Ann Wolf. I say Ann Wolf for her, man. Ann Wolf, she lost, so, and she really can't, so she might go by default. But yeah, man, nonetheless, man, it was a good showing for Claressa Shields, but I want to see her in there with somebody. I don't think they got nobody for her, to be honest, man. That's why they trying to, rehatch old rivalries with Savannah Marshall and, do all this, man. They ain't really got nobody who can, I ain't going to say challenge her, because Savannah Marshall challenged her, but like with another kind of star power and throw her in there, you know what I'm saying? Because they gave this to Claressa, because you already know they ain't going to let her lose. They let her lose. They lost millions of dollars on women boxing, so it's just not smart, you know what I'm saying? They get another woman in there with the same kind of, marketability behind her, and, make them clash, then they can talk about, giving a decision to that girl. But until then, they did the right thing, man. And it wasn't like a big, discrepancy in my opinion. Freaking so, yeah. Good job, Claressa Shields. All right. Well, let's talk about the Michaela Mayer, Alicia Bumgarner fight. It was I ain't really see it, but I know, it was, they was going back and forth, back and forth with each other, leading up into the fight. Freaking, they didn't like each other at all. Freaking, Michaela Mayer, she's an Olympian. She was undefeated, and I know Alicia Bumgarner, I think she lost one time, and she put a beating on Michaela Mayer, and cruised to a unanimous decision win against Michaela Mayer, slapping her first loss on her. Yeah, man, that was a good win for Alicia Bumgarner, man. I had Michaela Mayer, the best woman at lightweight, so she proved me wrong in that aspect. So yeah, man, good win for Alicia Bumgarner. All right, let's get into the PBC card, man. PBC, Al Heyman, all those guys. It was the Deontay Wilder, Robert Helenius fight card. It was on Fox pay-per-view from Brooklyn, New York. It happened Saturday, October 15th, the same as all these other fights I'm going to talk about. They, like I said, I don't know why they be throwing all the fights on the same night, making it hard for, niggas to decide what we going to watch, you know what I'm talking about? But that's what they do, and we had to make a decision. Well, I watched them all. All right, let's get into the card. The first fight I want to talk about on the card was a 12-round contest at bantamweight. Bantamweight is 118 pounds. If you didn't know, it was between Gary Antonio Russell and Emmanuel Rodriguez. This fight was a rematch. The first fight ended in the first round from a clash of heads. This fight almost actually ended in the, what round was that? I think the 8th round from a clash of heads. After Emmanuel Rodriguez was beating the hell out of Gary Antonio Russell all night, and he actually dropped him in the end of the 8th round as well. Emmanuel Rodriguez dropped Gary Antonio Russell being at the end of the 8th round, man. He basically got saved by the bell, man. And it was a clash of heads after, in the 9th round. My fault, I said the 8th. It was a clash of heads in the 9th round that stopped this fight, and yeah, man, it saved Gary Antonio Russell, in my opinion, because he was getting hell beat out of him. And the judges felt the same way, man. One judge had it 100-90, and another judge had it 97-93, and the last judge had it 99-91, all for your winner, Emmanuel Rodriguez, getting his 21st win, and giving Gary Antonio Russell his first loss of his career, man. This was the first fight Gary Antonio had since the loss of his father, and evidently, man, he wasn't over it. I feel like he was never in this fight. I feel like he was never in this fight, physically on the scorecards, and his head was never in this fight. I feel like he didn't have it, man. He didn't have it Saturday night, and you could tell, man. And he paid for it, man. He paid for it. All right, man. Let's get into the next fight I want to talk about. It was a 10-round contest at heavyweight. Heavyweight is the big boys. It was between Frank Sanchez and Carlos Negron. Frank Sanchez was 20-0 with 13 KOs. Carlos Negron was 25-3 with 20 KOs. Sanchez was boxing. This was a good fight. Sanchez was boxing well as usual, exploiting Negron. He was kind of, slow-footing this. He was kind of slower in there than all heavyweights are slower than Frank Sanchez, man. Frank Sanchez is a real fluent boxer in there for heavyweight, man. He moves well on his feet, so this fight was no exception, and he was dancing circles around Carlos Negron, man. But yeah, man. Frank Sanchez eventually stopped Negron in the 9th round, man. After a slew of punches, man, and I guess yeah, it was all she wrote, man. But it was the first fight with his trainer Joe Goosen, man, and he got the win. So Joe Goosen doing something well, man, as well as he's doing something well with Ryan Garcia, man. Joe Goosen is a good trainer, man. But yeah, man. KO win for Frank Sanchez. Ninth round KO win for Frank Sanchez, man. Advancing his record to 21-0, 14 KOs. Good job, Frank. All right, let's get into the next fight I want to talk about that was on the PBC card. It was a 168-pound fight. 168 pounds, a super middleweight, if you didn't know. It was a 12-round contest between Caleb Plant and Anthony Dirrell. Caleb Plant was 21-1, 12 KOs. Anthony Dirrell was 34-2, 2 draws, 25 KOs. This was the first fight Caleb Plant was having with his new trainer, Stephen Bradman Adams. Anthony Dirrell, he's trained by Sugar Hill, as we all know. All right. I kind of felt like this fight was going to be Caleb and Anthony Dirrell jockeying for position all night, man, like a chess match in there. But Caleb Plant pulling away in the end, scoring a unanimous decision win. There was a lot of bullshit between these fighters leading up into the fight. They didn't like each other at all, man. Dirrell was just saying, like, he didn't like Caleb. He felt like he was an arrogant fighter. Nobody he's fought likes him. No boxer in the middleweight division, super middleweight division likes him. But yeah, I was thinking like Caleb was thinking like, what's boxing, bro? Why the fuck niggas gotta like him? But he was basically saying Caleb's arrogant, and he didn't like him at all, man. Caleb, I don't know if he actually said it, but Caleb said he wasn't gonna let a white boy beat him. He had never let a white boy beat him. But Dirrell said he didn't say it, and he'd give 10 bands to anybody who pull up a clip of him saying that, because he didn't say it. But yeah, man, I thought it was gonna be a unanimous decision win for Caleb Plant. But boy, oh boy, was I mistaken. The fight, no lie, it was going just how I thought it would go. All the way up until it wasn't, man. Until the 9th round when Caleb hit Dirrell with a nasty 1-2, man. It went to the body, went to the head with a hook, man. And it was all she wrote, boy. It was all she wrote. Dirrell didn't see it coming, and he was sleeping in front of all those people, boy. It was ugly. It was ugly. I was wondering if wrestling get that boy a pillow and a blanket out there, but I'm telling you, it was ugly. But yeah, I'm gonna show y'all that shit. But good job, nonetheless, Caleb Plant, man. Getting that win, advancing your record to 22-1, 13 KOs. After the fight, after he knocked him out, he threw some dirt on him too. To show they had reported after the fight actually like, wow, what would you do throwing dirt on him? It was like he said he was burying all the beef between them. It looked like he was burying his ass because he was asleep. He might as well throw some dirt on him. But yeah, man, it was wild. It was wild as hell. All right, but yeah, let's get to the main event. On that card, it was a 12-round contest, a heavyweight. Heavyweight is the big boys. It was between Deontay Wilder and Robert Helenius. All right, Deontay Wilder was 42-2 with 1 draw. Robert Helenius was 31-3 with 20 KOs. My fault. Deontay Wilder got 41 KOs too. Goddamn. All right, yeah, bro. It ain't really too much to talk about in this fight. I ain't gonna lie, it was vicious, man. It was a first-round KO for Deontay Wilder, man. Bryce Bomber's back. But nah, I ain't gonna lie, it was something to talk about. Fucking Deontay Wilder, man, he's implementing some shit I've never seen him use in his career, man. I guess, some shit Malik Scott got him doing. And it's working, man. Well, it worked that fight, but I feel like it'll work more fights. And I feel like it would have worked against the Tyson Fury fight. And it's going to make his career, you know what I'm saying? Well, make his game that much better. You know what I'm saying? Because he was fighting off of the back foot. And I feel like, bro, You could do that. You could fight off of the back foot. If you could do it, do it. Fight off of the back foot. Fight off of the back foot. How these motherfuckers thinking they got you somewhere or got you against the ropes and, use that eraser, man. Use that eraser to get you, you know what I'm saying, what you want after you done set their ass up. You know what I'm saying? But if you just trying to go in there and just throw all right hands, people know what's coming. But if you can bait them into thinking like, you ain't gonna throw the right, or you're just boxing, jabbing back up, and as soon as they get out of position, like, become a counterpuncher. I've been saying that. Become a counterpuncher, man. It'd be nasty. And that's what I seen, man. He became a counterpuncher that fight. So if he could do what he did in the first round of that fight his whole career, for the rest of his whole career, man, it's a problem. And the fourth fight for Tyson Fury will be a motherfucking problem. But, yeah, man, good shit for Deontay Wilder. Like I said, man, Robert Helenius was Robert Helenius was his friend. But he put that boy to sleep in front of all them people, just like Caleb Plant did Anthony Dirrell. Man, the crowd in New York, Barclays Arena, seen a couple grown men falling asleep, in front of them Saturday night, man. It was crazy, man. They seen a couple of them. But, nonetheless, man, good shit, Deontay Wilder, man. I want to see him, I want to see Deontay Wilder in there with everybody at the heavyweight division. I ain't gonna lie, I don't want to see him retire no time soon. I want to see him in there with Anthony Joshua. Of course, that'd be a big fight. They were supposed to do it when they both was undefeated, but since you didn't, we'll still take it now. And I love to watch that bitch. I want to see him against, of course, Alexander Usyk. I love to see that. I love to see him against Andy Ruiz. That'd be a good Black versus Mexican fight. That's always a big, grosser, So I love to see that. I love to see him against a lot of people in there, man. So he can see, man, he got a lot left in him and a lot more money on the table to go get, man. So yeah, man, I'm looking forward to seeing more Deontay Wilder. Good job, Deontay Wilder, man. The Bronze Bomber is back. Good job, Malik Scott, as well. All right, I'm gonna talk about let's talk about another card. Let's talk about the ESPN card before we get into the fights that ain't happening. All right, it was this fight also took place Saturday, October 15th. Like I told y'all on same night. This was ESPN. Well, the other Claressa show was ESPN as well, but this also was ESPN. So ESPN was busy. ESPN put on this card as well. ESPN Plus card, top ranked Bob Arum. It was in Australia. It was the rematch between Devin Haney and George Kambosos Jr. All right, the undercard, it wasn't nothing to write home about, as I stated in the my video last week. The undercard, I guess it was just in the first fight, they just had a lot of Aussies on there, trying to, stroke the Aussies' interest. And, yeah, man, it really wasn't nothing I, really wanted to see. They had the Maloney brothers on the undercard. Like I said, that was the best thing they had. Jason Maloney was fighting some guy from Thailand. I thought it was Sarangasai, but it wasn't. Was Sarangasai, but it wasn't. It was some other guy, Sarangasai, a Thai fighter. But he was 56-1 with one draw and 46 KOs. But I had never heard of him, no lie. But Jason Maloney, he beat him, pretty easily. It was a unanimous decision win. One judge having it 118-110. Well, two judges having it 118-110, and the last judge having it 119-109. So a blowout. His brother also scored a unanimous decision win, Andrew Maloney, against a guy I didn't know, but he was 31-9-6 with 16 KOs. His name was Norberto Jimenez. So both the Maloney brothers won in the undercard of that, the Devin Haney and George Kambosos fight. But yeah, man, let's get into the fight that everybody was watching that fucking event for, because nobody, except the Aussies, probably, and the people's families. But all right, man, it was A 12-round contest at lightweight. Lightweight is 135 pounds. If you didn't know, it was for the WBO, WBC, WBA, and IBF championship belts of the world. It was between Devin Haney and George Kambosos Jr. Devin Haney was 28-0, 15 KOs. George Kambosos was 20-1, 10 KOs. All right. Devin Haney came out to Nas and P. Diddy. You can hate me now. He was like, I guess, trying to endear the Australian crowd. But he came, you can hate me now. He came out going crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you. But all right. Kambosos won the first round, I ain't gonna lie, with just his aggression. He was way more aggressive than the first fight. He was in there switching. He was in there looking, he was in there giving Dev a few different looks in the first round. Dev had to figure him out, and that's what he did in the first round, but he lost the first round. He didn't figure him out in the first round. That's what he was trying to do. So he lost the first round because he didn't get it done. Second round, Haney came out on the front foot, man. I guess, figuring out George, man, saying, hey, if you want to fight me, we going to fight then. Let's get it. So he came out like a dog, man, trying to, implement his power and throw some right hands at George, man, which actually won the fight for him. Give away, be a spoiler. He actually won. It won the fight with him, his right hand, man. He was coming, with his right hand after that left, man. But in the 8th round, Haney actually got cut from a clash of head. George got cut in the 9th round, I think on his eyelid from a punch. But yeah, like I said, overall, it was a good fight for Devin Haney, man. Devin Haney, the first fight he was using a jab, man. Using nothing but a jab, his left hand. But this fight, he was coming with the hammer, man. Coming with the right bitch. And, yeah, man, it got him to win, man. He said his dad, Bill, said he should throw the hook, because Kambosos wouldn't be ready for the hook. And he was saying, but he came with the right. And he's saying he was right. He was right. I feel like the hook would have got him too. Bill was right too, man, because he was throwing some hooks in there too, and the hook was getting him. But I feel like Dev just got too much for Kambosos, man. It's levels to this shit. I feel like George Kambosos beat overzealous Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez I had never fucking seen. I didn't know that guy. I didn't know why he was fighting like that. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with Teo? And George just kind of capitalized over that, off of that. And he kind of showed us who he really is with these Devin Haney fights. So he's a 20-2 fighter now. That's who he is. And that's who he really was from the beginning. Dev, man, he's let me go to the scorecard. It was an unanimous decision win for Dev. One judge had it 119-109, and the other two judges had it 118-110 for your winner, Devin Haney. Unanimous decision. But yeah, man, I feel like Dev's future is bright. He said he's welcoming all comers after this fight, but I think he signed up with Bob Arum top rank for one more fight, if I'm not mistaken. And I think that fight is going to be against Bob Arum's baby, Lomachenko. He loves him some Lomachenko. So he's going to make sure Lomachenko get a shot at those 135-pound titles, man. And possibly can win them, So after that fight, if Dev, is victorious, I see him moving up. That's just what I see him doing. That's what I would advise him to do. There's no point. You don't have to prove a point to stick around and fight Shakur, man. Shakur just coming to the weight. Move up, man. Go dominate them boys. Let Shakur have this weight. I want y'all to meet at 147 pounds. I feel like that's where all the money's at, and that's where the money will be made for y'all. If y'all meet up there, there's no point meeting at 135, 140. Man, keep moving up when you see your brother come. Move up. Don't make these people, make y'all fight, man. But if that fight do happen, that'd be an amazing fight. But I don't want it to happen until 147, man. That'd be an amazing fucking fight, though. But they both my guys, man. But, I got Shakur against anybody. Shakur against the world. Yeah, man. They got to, let's talk about the fights I feel like the fights that they say are going to happen, but I don't know if they're going to happen. They say Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia got announced, but I haven't, not got announced, but is on the horizon, and it's gonna happen for sure this year. Ryan Dad says it's gonna happen for sure. They showing Ryan Dad and Gervonta on FaceTime calls with each other and shit. But I don't know, man. I honestly don't see it happening. I hope it happened, man. I hope it happened. Just like Dev said, I don't think neither one of them guys want to really fight anyone. I don't think Gervonta really want to fight nobody. I don't think, not nobody, because everybody who, get in the ring is somebody, but I don't think he really want to go up against somebody who can really, who is really, it's like a 1A, 1B, type of fight. I don't think he want to do that. I don't think he want to share the money in a fight like that. And I don't think he really want to risk losing and missing out on his future money in a fight like that. So, and same thing for Ryan and Golden Boy. I don't think they want to put him in any situation just like that. So, I don't think that fight's going to happen. People keep talking about it, I guess. But guaranteed, they come out and they fight other people, in my opinion. But if it did happen, Gervonta for knockout, I feel like it wouldn't be close. I feel like Gervonta catch Ryan with his chin in the air and get him out of there. And also I feel like they keep saying the Spence and the Crawford fight is gonna happen. They said it was gonna happen November 19th. That's damn sure not gonna happen now. Because they need time to promote it and all the bullshit. So now they're saying January. I don't feel like that fight's gonna happen. I feel like it's gonna, time itself out. Both guys gonna be, just on the sideline for too long. They're gonna end up fighting somebody else. Somebody might end up. I don't see either one of them guys losing. They're both elite fighters, but I just feel like it's not gonna happen no time soon, man. It might never happen, man. It might never happen, man. But I hope it does, man. I hope it does. And if it does, my heart always said, my mind and my heart always said Spence, because I done seen Spence since early on in his career, man. And I've been seeing go to the body and, rip motherfuckers to the body and get them out of there. And I done seen him, run a 100-yard dash, race his partner, and get up out of there looking like a running back, you know what I'm saying, without a glitch in his run. But after that car accident, man, I doubt he can run 100 yards like that without a glitch in his run. And I doubt he's the same man. It's just not possible. And I doubt he could take the same punch. It's just not possible. But we shall see, man. We shall see. Even after his last fight, he said he ain't the same. But he could still get the job done. But I don't know against Terrence, man. I don't know against Terrence. We shall see, man. I got Terrence now. My heart telling me Errol. My head telling me Terrence, man. But yeah, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. I was wrong in a few of these fights that happened over the weekend, man. I think I was wrong in I for sure was wrong in the Deontay Robert Helenius fight. Oh my God, I think I picked Robert Helenius. I thought because Robert Helenius was coming off of a 2-fight win streak. Deontay Wilder was coming off of a 2-fight loss, two of his fight, lost streak, whatever case. But I was asleep, boy. Robert Helenius was asleep too. God damn. Both of the Roberts were asleep. But yeah, man, he put that boy to bed, man. I was wrong in that fight. I was wrong in the Alicia Bumgarner, Michaela Mayer fight. I was wrong in the Gary Antonio Russell, Emmanuel Rodriguez fight. I was wrong. I was wrong in a few of these fights over the weekend. I ain't gonna lie, and I'm gonna take ownership. But I'm only human, man. I'm only human. But yeah, man, it was an exciting night of boxing over the weekend, man. Hopefully you tuned in and you got to see, what boxing is all about. It was some different shit. It was some boxing going on. It was some power punching going on with knockouts. It was different women. It was different things you would have got to see if you tuned in over the weekend, man. So hopefully you did. And like I said, it really ain't too many fights coming on this weekend, man. So, if you got something to do over the weekend, this weekend, if you want to go out, go party, go do that, man. I ain't gonna lie, because it ain't popping this weekend. Like I said, you got Isaiah Steen on Showtime. That's about it. And he's still up and coming. I'm gonna check it out. I'll let y'all know how it was, but yeah, I wouldn't advise y'all too honestly. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, all that shit, people. Rob's World of Boxing. Yeah.